Welcome back, everybody. It's Chris and Tom here with our next episode in Spooktober. So we're going back to the Justice League animated series. This is season 2, episode 6, second part from our episode that we did last week, which is Only a Dream, featuring the amazing William Atherton as Dr. Destiny. So you guys know the drill. We're just going to get right into it. Heavily filtered version right up there. Okay, just to keep in track with us. We're going to count you in with a 3, 2, 1. Freddy's dead, since he's essentially played like Freddy Krueger here. So count you in. Get yourselves ready. It's season 2, disc 1. If you're using the DVD, I don't know what it is on the Blu-ray. All right, get ready, guys. 3, 2, 1. Freddy's dead. So now we get our previously on Justice League sections.
Now I forget. Did they say what the origin of the machine that turned him into the character is? Like, is it alien or something? Because it looks vaguely alien.
I don't think it's alien. I think it probably is built by LexCorp.
That would make sense, yeah. That was so creepy, the way his skin fell off his face there.
Yeah. So when last we left, all the Justice League was going to sleep, or were already asleep.
Yeah, so I'm guessing the majority of this episode will take place in the dream world.
Yeah.
I do like the theme tune for Justice League.
It's somber, but it's also heroic at the same time.
It's got an epic quality to it, for sure. See, I'm trying to remember what the Justice League Unlimited intro's like. I can't remember for the life of me right now.
I think they use almost the same song, but they just jazz it up, make it a little bit more rock and roll.
That's cool. But yeah, I like this intro. I think it's stylized. It's good. Obviously today, I think maybe the 3D models would have a little bit more texture to them, but that's nitpicking at the end of the day. It's funny seeing the Flash with this completely different art style. Grundy too, I suppose. So yeah, I guess this is how Wally sees himself in his dreams or something.
Interesting thing is the way in some sequences of the cartoon they're watching, it almost looks like they were doing kind of a parody of John Wesley Shipp's Barry Allen.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. With the over-exaggerated muscles. Yeah, for sure. Is that a penguin toy in the background? It was literally like a plush penguin with a top hat.
Could have been. I kind of missed it.
We might see it again. Who knows?
And now we see what Wally's fear actually is here.
I'll tell you the most unrealistic thing in this so far, though. Being able to actually run in dreams. I've never been able to run in a dream, ever. As soon as I try, it's like you're moving in water, and it's... Yeah.
But his fear is that he's going to move so fast that he can't interact with everybody else.
The only criticism I'll say about the guy's costume, if the skull was painted yellow, he'd basically just be skeletal.
Yeah.
Like, that's literally all you'd have to change, and people would recognize it as skeletal.
Thing is, the character of Dr. Destiny was from like 1979, early 1980.
Did he look like that in the comics as well?
Yeah.
Oh, so Skeletor rips off him.
Could be.
Yeah. Too late. This is exactly the kind of nightmare I expected Clark to have. Maybe not the killing Lois, but like the revealing his identity by accident. That's totally a Clark Kent thing to have a nightmare about.
Yeah, and of course losing control of his powers.
Yeah.
Which
it's like Clark's nightmare is almost like Superboy's Deadly Touch meets Mindscape. It's like they've combined elements from both those episodes of Superboy into this. Well, that was odd. And it looks like they're using the same thing that they did with Batman in that one episode when he realized he couldn't read anything because apparently words in dreams are scrambled.
Yeah.
Although I'm fairly sure I've read things in dreams.
I'm sure I have too, but
it's probably not very often. Yeah. But it's fun though. It means that this episode, with the way that dreams work, is it's using the same rules that were in a previous episode, and I always appreciate that.
And the only ones who are not affected, at least not yet, are the Manhunter and Batman.
I imagine with Martian Manhunter, maybe it would be a little bit more difficult to get into his psyche just because his mental abilities are so much more powerful. But with Batman, I mean, he's probably just not tired yet because he's a pretty nocturnal guy. He was probably asleep all day. whereas all the other heroes were obviously awake.
Well, that's going to play into what's going to happen with him over the rest of the episode.
Okay. I do like that they've gotten quite imaginative with the nightmare sequences.
Yeah.
The way it sort of goes from sort of one moment to the next, it does feel quite dreamlike. The way that it almost like time doesn't quite make sense in a dream, and it you get a little bit of that feeling with this. I appreciate that.
Plus the fact that each of the dreams, it seems like it is something that the character would be afraid of. Wally, of
it's
course,
tailored to each person.
Yeah,
sure.
Wally, of course, is afraid that he's never going to be able to stop and not be able to interact with people. Clark is afraid he's going to lose control and start hurting people. GL is afraid that his powers are going to just take over.
I suppose Hawk Girl's just afraid of dying because she's likely reincarnated so many times. That would be a
well. They never really established the whole reincarnation thing with her.
Oh, did they not? I just assumed that was part of her story.
Because she's of a race of flying bird people,
the Thanagarians or whatever.
Yeah, what she's afraid of is claustrophobia. Birds are known for being able to fly freely, so she's afraid of claustrophobia.
Makes sense.
Excuse me.
That would be an interesting basis for a Superman story, though. His powers just keep increasing and gets to the point where it becomes dangerous. I mean, it's kind of what they did with All-Star Superman, except it killed him.
Yeah.
But it could be interesting if it's not going to kill him and it's just potentially just dangerous for everyone else.
The only part about Superman's nightmare that I don't like is that they made him so huge and hulking.
I like that because, I mean, it makes sense to his fear that he's just getting stronger and stronger. Like he's seeing himself transform into a monster, basically.
But my problem is that it's too Frank Miller-esque in the design, and I can't stand Miller's artwork.
I can't either, to be honest. I've never understood how he gets work as an artist. As a writer, I can understand it because he's written some good comics, but as an artist, I've not liked a single picture that he's drawn. Not one. So yeah, I guess Batman's finally starting to fall asleep. I love the way that his cape is becoming an extension of his being, you know.
Yeah. In this way, it is very, very Freddy-esque.
Mm. I'm amazed the trash cans broke the windshield. I always just assumed Batman's windshield would have been like bulletproof or something.
Mm.
Yeah, that really does make sense for a fear for the Flash to have. Definitely. Oh dear.
Batman is doing whatever he can to stay awake.
Mm.
Coffee, cold air blowing on him, bad music.
Good sound design as well.
Hmm.
You know, I would love to see a live action movie with this sort of style and like tone. I wouldn't mind seeing a actual Justice League movie with a villain like this. I don't think it always has to be Darkseid or Brainiac. I think you can do stories like this and it's just as effective. I wouldn't necessarily do it as the first Justice League movie, but
Yeah.
I can see them doing, you know, if they were like 3 or something phases into a cinematic universe, I could see them doing this as a pretty good movie.
And now we find out that the closer Batman gets to him, the more Dr. Destiny is able to affect reality.
Hmm. I do like that they've got Martian Manhunter as the primary guy that's kicking his ass in this because it does make sense with his powers. Like, if there's ever anyone on the Justice League that's going to be able to take this guy down, it's him.
Yeah. Plus the fact that this episode is really a Martian Manhunter's heavy episode with his dream abilities.
Hmm. Well, I guess Batman finally fell asleep.
Nope, it's not that he's asleep. It's that he's the proximity to Dr. Destiny.
The
In
dream's
this
leaking
building.
through into reality or something.
Yeah, the more power he has. But I love what Batman's doing to piss him off. He's humming a song to annoy him.
Yeah, it's one of those classic nursery rhyme earworms, isn't it? Once you get it stuck in your head, you can't get rid of it for a while.
Yeah, and Dr. Destiny doesn't even know what the song is. It's Frere Jacques.
Yeah. He injected himself?
Yep. In the fall. And now he's out cold.
He's earned it. Yep. He's definitely earned it.
And all he hears in his brain as he's comatose here is Frere Jacques.
That was good. That was a good two-parter. I liked how when he was affecting reality, he basically stuck Batman in that. What's that painting with the staircases that go all over the place? Is it an Escher painting?
I think so.
Yeah, it's just it reminds me of that, which is a fun little nod. Yeah, that was a good episode. I enjoyed that. As far as horror goes, obviously they can't go too far because it is still at the end of the day a kids show, primarily.
Although at the time when they made this was when they were making the Justice League cartoons that were a little bit more adult.
Yeah,
little bit,
I mean,
not
but
much.
at the same time, it's still a family show. They can't get too terrifying with it just purely because there would be complaints. Parents saying you gave my kid nightmares, all of this. So it's about as scary as this show would probably have been allowed to go.
Yep.
And yet it still had these really sort of unnerving, unsettling moments where it was just it would just go quiet for a second, and it would almost just let the silence almost be the unnerving thing in a few moments here and there. Yeah, this was a really solid episode. I would give it a solid maybe 8 out of 10, maybe 7.75 at the lowest. How about you?
I would go 8 on this.
Okay.
I think the voice acting that they chose for the main characters here, Dr. Destiny and of course his girlfriend Penny, great. Then again, I've always had a thing for Fruzabalk, but that's another story altogether. William Atherton just he went heavy into being the heavy here. He started off as such a likable character in the first part, and he became such a justifiably psychotic.
I don't know if you could say justifiably. The way she handled the breakup was not the best, but I mean, there was no excuse for really what he did. And the switch was a little bit too quick for me, to be honest. That's why it's not quite an 8.5 for me. The switch was basically instantaneous. You can basically explain that away, though. It's like the machine, when it gave him the powers, it probably warped his mind in like a Norman Osborn, Green Goblin type of way.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
but the
his
way
motivations didn't always quite work for me. That's probably my biggest nitpick.
Well, I think in the sense that it worked because he was a small time hood who got the chance to be something big with the drugs and the machine.
I suppose the power corrupted him as well.
Yeah, absolute power corrupts. Absolutely.
Yeah, it was a solid episode.
And I mean, the way he plays Dr. Destiny. I mean, he plays John as such a nice, likable guy, and then he gets set off, and he just starts going darker and darker in his tones. And then when he's playing Dr. Destiny, he's basically playing Freddy Krueger, as you pointed out. And he plays him so sadistically playful.
Yeah, he had a really great sort of gleeful edge to his voice. He was very happy to be doing evil by the end.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good episode. 8.5 is probably the highest I'll go with it, but let's call it an 8.
Yep,
that's fine. Yeah, I really enjoyed this episode. What did you think of it? Is this one of your favorite horror episodes? Do you think this one's maybe a little bit overrated, perhaps? Let us know in the comments. What did you think of this episode? But in the meantime, we're going to get on and record next week's episode. So see you next week when we go to another Justice League episode, which is The Terror Beyond. Is that right?
The Terror from Beyond, I think.
The Terror from Beyond, something like that. And it's basically them doing a Lovecraftian cosmic horror type story. So this should be fun. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.